So I found this really pretty spot. It's super peaceful and quiet up here. Over back in that direction is kind of where I live. Then this is the upper highway, and there's a lower highway further down. But I took this upper highway up, so it's really pretty prairie. But I don't know, right about there, if you can see it peeking over, there's some clouds in the way. But right over there's Maui. So I live on the Big Island, and Maui is right over there. So when there's no clouds, it's an awesome view. It's not too far away, and it's a gorgeous view. So this is kind of the setup I'm working with. It's super quiet and peaceful. Over here I've got my computer and I've got notes over there. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at, but just an absolutely gorgeous view. So let's kind of dig into it. The big scary number. How much am I paying for training? I got a federal student loan and I signed for $116,000. $116,000. And that's a massive number. It still like makes me nervous to think about it right now. But when you look into what that gives you, I can justify it. So the first thing that I'll go over is rent. Mauna Loa offers student housing. If you come to Mauna Loa and you can find your own rent, do that. But I'm not sure my credit was there, and I just took advantage of Mauna Loa's student housing. So you get a room and you have a roommate. I actually don't have one right now because of the COVID-19 pandemic, but you get a room with a roommate. You also get a kitchen, Wi-Fi, laundry, all the utilities you need. And that's for $650 a month. So that's not massive, but that goes into the total cost. And then when you look at the ratings, for that $116,000, you start off with your private and your commercial, your CFI, your double I, and your IFR. That's 5 ratings. Going into the industry right now, essentially all you need is private and commercial, and then you technically have what you need. As the industry stands right now, you most likely need your IFR. They're looking for that, instrument flight rules. But to get to those higher jobs, so like firefighting, industrial building stuff, police chases, news choppers, anything that you really see the helicopters doing, you're gonna need like probably at least 1,000 hours. 1,000 hours up to 1,500 hours. And when you finish Mauna Loa or a lot of flight schools, maybe you've got 100, 150, 200 hours, getting to that 1,000 hour, 1,500 hour is really hard and can take quite a bit of time. So how do you typically do that? That's typically done through instructing. So you're a flight instructor and you get to build that time in the aircraft, and then you can get to that. So maybe that'll take you 1, 2, 3 years. But to even do that, you have to be a flight instructor. So you have to have that CFI rating. And a lot of schools are also looking for that double I rating so that you can teach instrument and IFR. And coming out with all 5 of those ratings, I can go to essentially any flight school and be a rated flight instructor to teach anything they need, any course, any license. So that's a massive benefit, and that's how I'm gonna get my foot into the door. The second way I can justify the large price is the time of training. The program is marketed as 1 year. That's 1 year 0 to double I instructor. You can go work anywhere. That's pretty aggressive, but if you're really committed to going to school and you just work every single day and school is your job, you can get it done. If you take time off and you've got a side job, maybe a little bit longer, but about a year. And it's pretty aggressive, but it can be done. We're in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic right now, and I went home for, I think it was about 2 months, so my timeline might be a little bit longer. Maybe 14 months, maybe a year and a half, but it's really not that long. And my friends that are in college, that's a 4-year-long program, and then they start in the industry, whatever they're getting into. Once they graduate college, already be established 3 or 4 years into the industry. So that's a massive benefit right there. The aggressive timeline is great, and I'm 19 right now, so when I finish the program, I'll be 20. And then if I build up my time as a flight instructor for 2 or 3 years, it puts me at 22, 23-ish, and then I'm marketable to go work essentially wherever I want. I'll have all the hour requirements, and that's incredible right there. And then the third and probably most important reason how I can justify the massive cost of school is it's what I want to do. I want to fly helicopters. I want to wake up every morning and drop my kids off at school and go have the sky be my office. Sure, you're gonna have meetings and other things you have to attend to on the ground, but I get to fly an aircraft through the sky. And the other thing is I get to come home at night. Maybe you'll have some long distance flights and sometimes where you're out of town, out of state, but you get to come home to the same base every night. You're not away from your family, and that's important to me. But I want to fly around the sky. And the other thing is I'm a leader. I like to be in charge. I like to make the decisions. And as a pilot, you're the pilot in command. You are the last person and the person that gets to make all the decisions. You're in charge of the safe operation of that aircraft. And I love that. I want to be the one making the calls. And that really excites me. I want to fly through the sky and talk to air traffic control and work with other pilots. And that's the job that I want to do. And I know everyone says it, but life is so short. Do what you want. And I agree, that's true. But you have to be smart when it goes into the finances of it. Don't just do what you want to love if it's not going to make you money and if you're going to be in debt. Yes, I am quite a bit in debt right now, but I've got a plan to pay it off. I didn't walk into this willy-nilly. I didn't walk into this without a plan. Before I signed the dotted line for the loans I'm taking out, I knew how I was going to get myself out of it. I saw how I was going to get in and how I was going to get out. I've got a payment plan that I established that's more aggressive than the recommended payment plan. My goal is by the time I have kids, I want to be paid off, have my student loans paid off. And maybe that's kind of aggressive, but I think it's actually quite conservative. Maybe by the time I'm 26, 27, have my student loans paid off. And it doesn't necessarily matter, but you don't just want to wake up and realize, oh my God, my interest rate shot my price up and now I'm $130,000 in student loan debt and not know how it happened. No, I know how it happened and I know how I'm going to get myself out of it. And on the last point, some of you might be wondering why I didn't choose the military. I couldn't bring myself to do it. I've got nothing but respect and admiration for our military service members. They do a great thing. They fly awesome aircraft. They're protecting us. They're allowing me to come out to Hawaii and go to flight school. But I couldn't bring myself to do it. I still see it as a career in the future. It may be something I want to do, but at this time right now, it wasn't the choice for me. And like I said, I've got nothing but respect for them. But on the last point, yeah, so how I got the loan, I got a federal student loan. Mauna Loa is actually, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it's a federal accredited school. So they can give out federal student loans, and that's how I was able to do it. I know there's a few requirements on how to get those loans. Do some research into it. If you have questions, you can ask. But Mauna Loa is a federally accredited school, so that's how I was able to get my loan. And if you're gonna do it, look into that option. If you can't get that federal student loan, try to get a personal loan, maybe from a bank. I'm not exactly sure. I tried to get a few other student loans besides a federal loan, and it was kind of hard for me, but there's other ways to do it. And like I said, the benefit of Mauna Loa is how fast the program is, but it doesn't have to be that fast. You can save up for the ratings, and that's how I was initially going to do it. I was going to save up for my private and do my private, save up for my commercial, do my commercial. And that would have been a longer process, which has its own challenges, but I also wouldn't have been in debt. So that's a benefit there. But there are other ways to pay for school. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. But I hope that answers some of your questions. Take care.